Hello, Aso. First up, Marielos, ¿cómo estáis? That was probably the fastest two friends joining so far. As soon as I came on, it was quite quick the way you guys found out. Thank you, SO. I'm good. Hope you're doing well as Ben as well. And Mariela says, muy bien, gracias. Prego. Shadi? Hello, Shadi. How are you? Remember, guys, always do let me know where you're tuning in from and your age, and the ones whose face or picture or name doesn't show. It would be nice if I know it's a young lady or a young man, a man or woman. Shadi, if you have a background of, because your name I think means happiness or celebration or wedding in I've heard it in Indian movies that when they're getting married they always use the word shadi, and then the subtitle thing tells me what it means. So I wonder if you're from India or just the name is Shadi. Aso says, do you have any kids, Mehran? Because you can adopt me. Yes, I have a son. He is in fact, today he's 28 years old. Tomorrow, today. Today happened to be ancient Persian New Year, Nowruz. So the ones who celebrate it and the ones who don't, either way, happy Nowruz to all of you. Wish you a wonderful year full of health and happiness for you and your families. It's an ancient, thousands of years old, a Persian celebration for beginning of spring, and it goes back way back. But the tradition is still kept alive, and I hear about 1.3 billion people, if I'm not mistaken, celebrate that around the world. Or maybe I'm mistaken, I don't know, but there's a big number. Aso is from Oman. Thank you, 23. Yes, I just talked about it. Yes, we do celebrate Nowruz. Shadi. Yeah, your last name, of course, is not. It's clearly, it's a English name. But Shadi, of course. Shadi is also a Persian name, but in Persian, Shadi means happiness, celebration, being happy. And I wonder if that's the same meaning in Indian language, or is it just a word on its own? There we go, Shadi. Now, there is the mystery solved. Your dad is from India. There we go. Hello, Prince. How are you? And thank you, Prince. Happy Nowruz to you too, dear. Thank you, Eso. Thank you very much. And Happy Nowruz to you too as well. Excalibur says, Hola, Mehran. How are you? Me and the GF had a fight and I can't wait for robot girlfriends. Okay, okay. But so you were in a relationship all this time. I thought you had broken up, but I guess you just broke up. So one of the good things about my programs and my videos is that it's never going to go out of style. You're either broken up or you will be. So you, one way or another, you will come to see me, or at least see my videos. I don't mean to be funny. It just cracks me up because that's the challenge that almost everyone, if not everyone, will eventually at one time or another in their lives will go through with and experience the breakup challenges that we all face. And that's how we grow. So that's good news to know, at least if I don't have 1 million viewers by now or subscribers, keeping it on YouTube for the next 100 years, I probably end up getting a million subscribers or 1 million viewers at some point. Excalibur, yeah, okay, cool. It reminds me sometimes of Dr. Evil's laugh. I don't know if you guys have watched Austin Powers series before. Collectible coaches, do rebound relationships work? It's a rebound. It has no basis. It just needs, it's like a crutch. You hold on to the crutch and it keeps you from falling. And you feel momentarily good about yourself. But then if you give it time, you may get to know each other and you find you can bond further than the physical intimacy. And you may actually hit it off. But as the basis for a real relationship, I don't think so. You know, sometimes maybe, but it's not. I don't think the odds would be, and the number of successful number of success would be that high. Chad says, I thought I was doing better, Mehran, but the last few days I've been sleepless and cannot stop thinking of the sex. I mean the ex. Which pretty much why it is that you're thinking of her, because there is nothing else after you broke up with her other to bring you you know, feel infatuated, other than thinking about all those intimacy memories that you have with her. Otherwise, if you really focus on her character, you'll see there's no reason for you to turn her into a god or something that you can't do without. What? It is your desire that you're following. It is your desire that you're complying to its wishes. It is not her. You have simply been called in to fulfill your desire. It is your desire that is calling you in. And that desire wants to be fulfilled to get the same kind of emotional balance or feelings or intimacy or pleasures that it used to receive through your relationship with your girlfriend. But it is not the girlfriend that you miss. It is for fulfilling your desire. It is a command of your desire, which at the same time it fluffs your ego. So you clearly must recognize that really, if you focus on the reasons that you guys broke up, there would be no legitimate or reasonable reasons, logical reason for you to want her back. And if you do, you should be damn sure that it is not because it was wonderful, fitting a relationship. It was only part of it. And all of it that you want her back for must be the intimacy part, the good memories, It's like you have trimmed all the memory to only leave the good ones, and you're not even focusing on the reasons that you guys broke up, the bad part of your relationship. And of course you will miss it. If you don't include the whole totality of the picture of the relationship, you would think that it is just what you remember of her, all the good stuff. Then you'll miss her. What's not to miss? It'll be all the intimacy part and all the good part, all the lovey-dovey ones. Of course you'd miss her. But if you bring the whole picture of the bad stuff, bad feelings, difficulties, changes, challenges, and divisions and conflicts, and all the things, the dramas and everything, then you would say, oh, forget it. I'm not interested. But if you don't do that and you wonder, why am I missing her? Well, you're missing her because you're only thinking about the stuff that you want to think about. You know, all the time that you're being affirmed and feeling good about yourself. That's all. And because of that, you're actually willing to forgive everything else and not even remember the bad stuff. Just because you feel it's a sin if you look at her, the person through which you were getting the climax, the sex, the intimacy, that psychological security, that pleasure. You feel it's a sin if you just see the whole thing about her and not like how it was. So you protect that. In fact, you're protecting your choice of her. It's like you think that you're going to be disrespecting yourself if you diss her or if you see it as it is. So you fool yourself, only focus on that, and you consider it a sin if you really not want to think of her highly because you had pleasure with her, because you feel, oh, you know, she's so angelic, all because of the pleasure you've been receiving. But if you bring the whole picture of the relationship into your eyes, and then you will see why. Why should you be following some relationship that wasn't really good, wasn't complying with your expectations? You're a human being of respectable caliber. Why is it that you respect her but not you? So in your mind, it's okay for her to follow what she wants to do, which one was to break up with you. But it is not okay for you to want what is good for you. It should be okay for you to want what is good for her. I don't understand that. Where's the respect in it for you? So, focus. If she broke up with you, that's a deal breaker. That means she's not good enough to be with you. And that should be the end of it. Why are you groveling? What for? What do you think she is? Other than some entity that helps you to fulfill your desire for pleasure and ending up fluffing your ego, what is really coming from her? It's a vehicle for you to feel good about yourself and fulfill your desire and feel pleasure through whatever it is that you guys do, intimacy or just, you know, lovey-dovey or, you know, whatever, good times. But the reality is that your capability to turn that into fulfillment of your desire is what really makes her that important. Other than that, she wasn't really good enough. Otherwise, if she was, that would have meant she would stay with you. The fact that she hasn't already disqualifies her. So why is it you're still running after her or think of her? What do you even think of her? What? Think of something else, somebody more beautiful. If you're thinking about all the intimacy stuff, well, imagine somebody else. So many beautiful women on the movies and, you know, widescreen you see. So fantasize for yourself. Replace that pictorials of the intimacy and the lovey-dovey that comes to you with something else until you find, yeah, these other pictorials that you create in your mind for whatever gives you pleasure is far superior to her. Then you will see that she's not all that. There's so many better ones around. And that way, at least, you go on until you legitimately find somebody else more suitable and qualified. It is you who gives her importance. It's not her and her own importance on her own merits. If it was that important, she would still be with you, because the qualification, number one qualification for someone to be qualified to be with you is that she sticks around. The moment they leave you, no matter what they were, how good they were, whatever it was that they were doing, not qualified anymore, because it's not for you. Remember, if the wheel doesn't turn for you, it doesn't matter if it turns at all. So it doesn't matter how good she is. If she's not for you, then you forget it. Move on. Simple as that. Don't turn them into gods. They're just human beings that so happen that you find pleasure by being with them. But they're still human beings. There's no more than that what you get out of them, coming from them. They're not more than that. They're no gods. They can't do magics. They can't solve problems that you can't solve. It's all about feelings, bonding on consciousness level, harmony, compatibility, sex, the intimacy. That's it. That's the limitation of it. You want to make them to be more than that, that's your own fault. That's why you can't get moving onward. Pay attention to that. You'll be okay. Now, let's see. As so says Mehran, would you do something if you knew you were going to regret it? Both either you did it or not. And which regret is bigger usually? Well, if you know that something is not good, well, you shouldn't do it. Why should you do something that you know you're going to regret? What kind of a... You all want to be in control of your lives, but when it comes to being in control of your lives, you choose not to be in control of your lives. Your lives. You're asking me, would you do something that you would regret? Well, if you regret something that you want to do, that means you're not in control of making the right decision, and that's not where you want to be. Everybody's trying to say, how can I control life? And I have a video that says you can't control anything in life, but at least what you can do is try your best to make the best decisions at the given time. Now, the fact that you asked me, if you're going to be regretting something, would you still do it? No, I shouldn't do it. If I do it, and it's something serious, well, that's stupid of me. The whole idea is to be able to have a better judgment. Think deep and judge well. At least that helps us to do things that we don't end up regretting it, at least not that many times. So, and Prince says, sir, would you say that everything you've been teaching us also applies to cultures that practice polygamy? What? We're talking about one man and one woman. Now, you want to turn it into one man and more than one woman? Or are you talking about one woman and more than one man as well? I don't know. But in any given time, no matter if it's one woman and 10 men or one man and 10 women, every time the relationship is between one man and one of the women, and the other vice versa as well. So it's always going to be between two people. So I don't know. You'll find out. Why do you ask that? Are you going to have more than one girlfriend? Is that why? I recommend against it. Excalibur says, by the way, Mehran, I had another dream with you in it. Ah, okay. This is becoming a series, a sitcom maybe, huh? Where I was confused about a girl in school, but you told me whether she likes me or not. Who gives a shit? And I woke up with laughing tears. Oh, well, good. I would wake up with laughing tears too. But you can still politely ask her if you can get to know her. Then if she does, then you know she likes you. If she doesn't, you know she knows that that you don't. She doesn't want to be pursuing that friendship. So that's cool. You're a man. It's okay to be rejected. Just be nice and polite and cordial about it, and gentleman about it, and try to get to know girls that meet your standards. And you're what? You're in legal age, and if they're in legal age, and then you just politely see if you can get to know them. And if it works, great. If it didn't, next. That's it. Until you find the right match. Aso says, how can one get psychological safety alone without a relationship? How can one be happy with oneself? Well, that's supposed to be the easiest thing, because that's the only one person in the world that you could, or you have a chance to know exactly how its consciousness is put together, how the center, how the entirety of that person put together, because you're the one who's carrying that consciousness. That consciousness is the one who's carrying that consciousness. In other words, you're the one who've been conditioned through your life and have been interacting through your consciousness, which means you should know what that consciousness, that center of you, that the whole entirety of you is all about. And if you can't know that person that you know supposedly everything about, that means you haven't spent enough time to get to know it. How do you expect to know somebody else that well? So, in order to be happy with someone, you got to know their consciousness and your consciousness. In your own case, well, you should know your consciousness as best as you can, or at least spend enough time to get to know your own consciousness. Analyze it, go into it, figure it out, and that should give you a better chance to be happy with yourself. Because to be happy with someone, you got to know them. So if the fact that you can know yourself entirety, completely, at least to a very high degree, then you should have a better chance to be happy with yourself. Which means then when you're happy with yourself, you will find psychological security in life, in your connection with life, in things that you want to accomplish, learn, in things that you want to advance and grow. And it'll be much easier than trying to find psychological security, which in all cases is impossible to find anyhow, but at least you'll get closer to it by yourself than trying to find it in a relationship. Because a relationship, you never know what the person's decision would be tomorrow, or how that person will feel about life, about him or herself, about you. And so you're at the mercy of what? Somebody else's understanding and connection with life in order to connect yourself with that person, and through that person find psychological security, or through direct connection with yourself and life directly find closest possibility to psychological security. Which one is easier? You tell me. So it says, should 20 years old people have fun all the time, like 90% of the time, because they're young, and that's what 20-year-old people are meant to do? Live life, have fun, and that's it. And that's it. Who said that? Having fun is part of life, but it's not supposed to be replacing everything else that is an opportunity and responsibility in life. Just because I'm 20 years old, I'm not supposed to do my best in my pursuit of whatever it is that I want to accomplish, whether it is studying, or whether it is becoming good at a profession, or whether it is building my business, or whether it is sports activity, whatever it is that I want to build my life on that. But just because I'm 20, I should forget all that and just have fun? Who said that having fun is always positive? People are having fun every day on different things, that many of those activities are negative. They could be having fun, maybe, I don't know, doing some weird stuff. That doesn't mean just because something is fun to someone, that's also a positive, would have a positive effect on other people or people in the society or the community as a whole. Having fun is not a justification to do any nonsense that we want to do. It still have to be something that is not harmful to ourselves, and neither is harmful to the other people. And then perhaps it could be fun. You're playing soccer, that's fun. But you're going to, I don't know, do something harmful to somebody, that's not, it could be fun to you, but it's not really fun. It's to you, that means a sick mind of some kind. So, depends on what you mean by fun. And everything in moderation. You got to be in balance in this life of yours. Not that I'm 20, so all fun. Okay, then who's going to take care of the responsibilities? Or has it been a decree that until a certain age, you can just do whatever the hell it is that you want to do, have fun, and be responsible, and then we'll take care of everything. And then at a certain age, you start being responsible. There's no such thing. You know? So, no, people got to have balance in their lives. You have fun when it's safe for you and for the others, and when you can afford it, time-wise, financially, and opportunity-wise, so you won't neglect your duties, you won't miss opportunities, because the opportunities don't come back. You know, you're 20-year-old, you're supposed to, let's say, I don't know, go for an interview or take an exam, and you want to have fun. You say, because I'm 20, I got to have fun. Well, you're going to pay the consequences. You're going to miss those opportunities. So it's not a carte blanche. It's not like it's true in every case. You got to see. You got to be reasonable. Does it make sense if I have fun today? Yeah, I've done all my stuff and my responsibility. I've taken care of it. The bases are good. My foundation is solid, and I can afford to take a day off or have fun. Okay, go have fun. What's wrong with it? But not every fun means it's a good thing. So you got to make sure fun is fun as long as it's safe and good for you and for the others, and it's not harmful to you and the others. It doesn't jeopardize your chances for advancement. It doesn't do crazy stuff. It should be fun. Fun's supposed to be fun, not that under the illusion of fun or blanket of fun, you end up calling anything goes as fun. No. That's why we have the nonsense that is happening around the world. Everybody says, well, I'm having fun. Well, you may be having fun, but it's harmful to the other one. It's like 12 o'clock midnight, somebody wants to, turn their music on loud. Well, it's fun for him or her, but it's not fun for the neighbors. They want to sleep. So you got to define what really fun is and be reasonable about it. Balance is the name of the game. Saruda, morning from Thailand, finally. Ah, okay. Excalibur says, Mehran, can you elaborate a little bit on the order that people miss after a breakup? How does it form and so on? Well, you know, when you are not in a relationship, there are certain ways that you live your life. And that's certain ways that you live your life, things you do, things you like to do, amount of time you put on things, things that you pursue to accomplish, things you hope that you will learn, people you meet, places you go, kind of job you do, how much time you pay attention on your, how much time you put for your work, how much time you put for your studies, for your friends, socializing, you know, how you make your food, what kind of food you have, where you will have it, when you will have it, all of that. Things that you like to watch, things that you learn, you read, activities you like to do. These are all the order of your life. Now, when you get into a relationship, just as you have an order of your life, that other person, your girlfriend, has her own order, way of life. And these two orders, your order and her order, are in each other's way, possibly. Your order, way of doing things, interferes with her order, her way of doing things. And her order, way of doing things, interferes with your order, your way of doing things. So there'll be conflicts. to begin with. And then you guys try to compromise. And together, after a while, by understanding each other's order, respecting it and compromising it and talking it over, creating something new, you will bring about a new order, which would be an order in that relationship, which you will let go of some of your ways and bring the other person's orders in, and you create this whole new arrangement. And after a while, the way you do things in life becomes a mixture of both. You still have some of your old ones and then not some of your old ones. It'll become something that works together well. It's a new order. And when you break up, that new order that you just got used to it breaks up again. And you will end up being uncomfortable because the order is broken. Now things are not balanced, in your opinion. But really, in fact, how they are, they have just turned back to how you were before the relationship. That order comes back, which you're not used to it. And it takes a while for you to create your new single order again. And then you'll be fine again. Between the time that the new order in the girlfriend-boyfriend relationship breaks up, till you get used to the new order of single living, how it was before you got together in a relationship, that would be a little bit of a time. And that would be the painful time. And hope that will be something that helps you to understand. And of course, if you go on my video list on YouTube and key in, search in, type in new order, you will see these explanations right there as well, maybe more elaborate. Chula, hello. Prince. yeah, Prince, you were curious. Okay, yeah. EJ, hello, Mehran, 28-year girl tuning in from Korea. Okay, have a great week, everyone. Okay, thank you. By the way, again, I want to repeat, if the ones who are here didn't get it or hadn't tuned up yet, I want to say Happy Nowruz. Nowruz is an ancient celebration of the new year, a beginning of spring, which comes from thousands of years ago, from old Persian Empire time, and still celebrated. Perhaps millions and millions, if not billion, of people around the world in different countries celebrate Nowruz, which sings out the beginning of spring. And I hope that you will have a year filled with health and happiness for you and your families, and Happy Nowruz to you all. So, and Mimik Maya says, hello Mehran, what if you was so happy in your relationship and every point in it was perfect? Let's see, I missed it. What happened? Everything in it was perfect, but then you made some mistakes and then she broke up. Like it was actually perfect. So what? And then she continues. He continues. Like I realized that she was so good for me, but because I was jealous and sometimes egoistic, I lost such a diamond like her. Okay, so what? You can't expect yourself to be the you that you will be 5 years from now. Maybe 5 years from now, you couldn't have been the you that you would be 5 years from now if today you wouldn't be going through these so-called mistakes that you call them. These are the experiences that makes you grow and learn and understand what things are worth doing, what things are not worth paying attention to, and so on. And all these experiences will end up bringing about the you 5 years from now based on all these experiences, whatever you want to call it, mistakes or whatever. And in the meantime, so what? She's not the only diamond in the world. What happened? She was so perfect. Perfect in what? What was it that you guys call she was perfect? All you really mean that she really was hot for you, turns you on and made you feel good as far as, you know, you were feeling like you're a man, a woman pays attention to you, she likes you, and the woman being so important in our lives. And I have a video that describes why woman is so important in our lives. And, you know, through childhood and so on, you've seen the value and worth and importance of woman. And that's why her words and her involvement in your life is so important and makes you feel good. And then you call it perfect because she made you feel worthy by paying attention to you. Or was it the intimacy? Or was it the little things that you haven't experienced yet? And as a young man, you feel wonderful when you see such an attention from a woman, a female, comes towards you, and you feel great about yourself. Then you call her perfect. But these are all the abilities, capabilities that you have that is programmed in your genes for you to be feeling this way about a woman. So there could be another woman that would make you just as good, if not better. Because these are all novelty, new for you, especially at the young age that you are. But later on, you will know that you want more than this. Beyond these attentions, you also want compatibility in the consciousness. Not just that you're turned on and she's also feminine looking and all the clothes that she wears and the hairdo and the whole beauty of the femininity, you know, for us men is so valuable and make you feel so good that you think that feeling so good means she's so perfect. No. You need a lot more than just the visual and the physical attractions to consider a woman perfect. But at this time, as soon as you feel good about, you know, the experience you have with her, you say, oh, she's perfect. She's perfect because she's complying to whatever you wanted, or she makes you feel as good just because of the things that we discussed. But there will be others, so no big deal. Don't lose your sanity just because, oh, I lost such a gem. What gem? She's a human being, and she was doing it for herself and not just you. You think she was doing it all for you. It was making her feel good. She wanted you to be affirmed by you. So it's a two-way street. Don't think of her as perfect. You were also as perfect for her that she was trying to be as perfect as you think she was. So don't think that they're just angel. They're just wonderful, and you're also wonderful. So don't sell yourself short. Whoever you are, man or woman, both sides, same advice. Okay. David says, if relationships are hormonal driven by our programming, is there anything really special about relationship? Why don't we bond at a consciousness level with the member of the same sex like we do with opposite sex, age 22 Texas? Well, because as I mentioned, first of all, some people are actually the way you described. Their interest and their programming, their gene is not to like the way it is for you. It's different. So we're not talking about that. But if you're talking about a man and a woman, there is something for a man who likes woman, is attracted to that, not the consciousness only, is attracted physically. That is what the attraction, sexual attraction is. Now, if you don't use that period of sexual attraction and excitement to also bond on consciousness level, then the sexual attraction with this woman will become something that won't keep the relationship together only on that basis. Then you think you got to go to another woman and another one, because the bonding has only been on physical level, not on conscious level, consciousness level and physical level. So it has to be a combination. Not that only bonding on consciousness level is enough for two people who like opposite sex would stay together. That wouldn't work. Consciousness level and physical bonding both have to be present. But if it's only physical bonding between a woman and a man, it won't last long, because it is the mind that actually wants to be bonding with the mentality of the other person to make the physical attraction last longer. And if it's only on mental level and bonding on consciousness level, there is no attraction in the physical end of it. So again, it's incomplete. Both have to be there, not just one. We haven't been saying only conscious level bonding is enough. Not at all. We've been saying that the physical bonding is not enough. Not that it doesn't need to be there. I hope that answers your question. Nasro says, hi my dear, it's Nasro Ahmad from New Jersey. Good to see you. Good to see you too, Nasro. Thank you for being here. Jean Picard, or Piscard, how to construct a new relationship if both persons feel really involved with love, but there is a big challenge to start a new chapter at emotional level. I'm Constant 37 Peru from Belgium. So let me read that again. How to construct a new relationship if both persons feel really involved with love, but there is a big challenge to start a new chapter at emotional level. Jean or Jean, I don't really understand the question. If you want to start a new relationship, but they're both in love with somebody else or with themselves, but there is a big challenge, and that challenge is how to start a new chapter at emotional level. I'm not quite clear. Maybe you can help me out. A little more elaboration. And Nasser says, hi, I'm in love. I am in love, an older man. Unfortunately, my folks don't expect, but I love him so much. What should I do? Remember, guys, I'm in the dark here because I can't see your pictures, especially when you don't have a picture. And the names don't really tell me if it's a man's name or woman's name. And the age, of course, I can't guess. So if you would help me to know where you're tuning in so I can consider the backgrounds or the culture if I know something about it. If you're a man or a woman, and the age, that'll all help me to put things together. Because here I really don't understand. Hi, I'm in love, an older man. So then I think you mean you're in love with an older man. Unfortunately, your folks, your parents, I mean, your folks don't expect that. I love him so much. What should I do? So maybe you can clear that for me, Joe, so I can make sure that I'm understanding right. Again, depends how old is the older man than you. Again, these are all unknown to me. So guys, give me the info. Throw me the bone so I'll know what the question is. David says, yes, sir. Thank you. My pleasure, David. Saruda says, why bother have another relationship if everything is temporary? Well, because that's what you want. It's like saying, why bother eat again? Why bother eat if I'm going to get hungry again? Well, because that's what you need to go through life. So you don't want to have a relationship, don't. But nobody's going to guarantee that this relationship is going to be the one that's going to last the end of your life. The reality it is today that relationships don't last as long as they used to last 100 years ago. So what's your alternative? Oh, just because it doesn't last, then the hell with it. What bother? Why should I have a relationship? If you don't want to, don't. Great, fine, no problems. Enjoy life, learn about life. There's so many things to accomplish in this life. You don't have to be in a relationship. But if it is something that you enjoy and you want to, then understand that they may not last as long as you hope it to last. And that doesn't mean just because they didn't last, all of them are going to last just as long or just as short, or it's not worth for you to go after it. Because it has a pleasure. It has something that makes you feel more balanced. There's more oxytocin created. You'll feel more relaxed and more balanced and deal with life better. So it has its own good things and its bad things, the drama and all that so forth. That's what this life is, plus and minus. We're living in a duality, in a relative world. Nothing is absolute. So the relationships are not absolute either. They are relative. It goes on for a while, it's happy, then it's fight, then it's divisions, conflicts, they don't work, they separate. That's what life is. Perhaps you have in mind an absolute universe. We're not living in an absolute universe. So expect that. And then don't expect things to be perfect. And if they're not, then why bother? Well, that's why we're here. We are living in this imperfect world, imperfect life. And we're trying to make sense out of it and grow and learn and expand and then so on and so forth and see where the next step is. And he says, feel too much hurt and afraid to open again after many unsuccessful relationships. Female, 38, Thailand. Female, age 38 is the best time of a woman's life. What are you talking about? There probably more men would be interested and attracted to you now than ever before, because you are a complete example of freshness, beauty, wisdom, experience, a real woman. So don't sell yourself short. And that's what I said. This is a relative world. This is how it is. That's life. Don't say just because if life is everything perfect about it, then it's life. And if it's not, it's not. No. This whole shit, as it is, that's what it is. This is life with all its imperfections and sometimes perfections. But you can't expect it to always be good. It's never been always good for anybody. So let's be realistic. We hope that it will be as best as it could be, but nowhere is written. Nasro, I'm a girl 20. Okay, for the first time, I now know, Nasro, that you're a girl. Even the comments that you made on YouTube, when I responded to, I thought it's a man, because I don't know the names and the pictures are not there. So I'm sorry that I didn't know, but again, your own fault. You gotta let me know. Judith says, I just got left behind by a guy. To begin with, that is a wrong way of starting this. You didn't get left behind. What kind of a attitude is that? Why don't you think the guy lost her chance? That you're free now to find somebody more suitable. That somebody who wants to commit and stay and make a relationship. Somebody who would be more fitting to what you like and what that person would like. Compatible. What is this business of I was left behind, I was dumped, and this and that? Don't sell yourself short. It's the first thing you do wrong. Have more respect for yourself. All of you. And I feel is perfect for me for long-term happiness. I just got left behind by a guy who I feel is perfect for me for long-term. You feel, obviously, you felt wrong, because how could the guy be perfect for your long-term happiness if he hasn't stuck around and you left? So that means it's not a qualified guy. That should tell you. It doesn't matter how wonderful the relationship, as short as it was or as long as it was, how wonderful it was, when one chooses to leave, that disqualifies that person. From then on, that person is not qualified. And she says, I feel I have lost my chance. No, no, probably he lost his chance. Why do you feel you lost your chance? You're still you. You know who you are. You know what you want. He didn't. So you haven't lost your chance. You have all your chances. You know exactly what you want, exactly what you're looking for. You're ready to settle down. You're ready to accept someone who fits the description and is qualified. But you should also know why and when someone is not qualified or has been qualified but no longer is qualified based on the new behavior. And that should be always an updated criteria. Not that one set of standards you start, and regardless of what this person does through the relationship, you still want to think that he's qualified because he used to have these sets of standards that you were looking for. Well, maybe he did, but he doesn't. You know? What do? You get an ice cube, and then when it's no longer hard and icy, you still call it ice cube? No, it's not water. It's changed. You can't use it as an ice cube. Or anything else. They could change. When they change their shape, then their qualification is changed. And your qualifying them should also be updated. It is so hard to find the perspective to go on with life right now. 27 Germany. Well, it's always challenging when you want to start something, but just because something is maybe challenging to begin with doesn't mean that it's always going to have difficulty regardless of what stage of the relationship will be. Like a car you want to push, it's very hard to get it going. It needs lots of effort and focus and pushing. But once it starts rolling, it becomes easier, isn't it? You don't have to spend that kind of energy with a finger. You just direct it, it will do. And the wheel behind the steering wheel, you can just turn it easily. But at the beginning, when it's not moving, it's hard to turn it. Same thing with anything else, including relationships. Yeah, at the beginning, especially when you've just finished one relationship, it could be challenging for you. It's just the idea of going through all that introduction and getting to know each other. Yeah, but remember how it was this one? And you went through it and it became okay and then it broke up. Okay, fine. Now this one the same. It could be a little bit difficult at the beginning, but eventually it'll become pleasant and worth the effort that you made at the beginning. So it's life. What did you expect? This one person all your life? Just imagine if you were still with the first person that you fell in love with in high school. Would you want to be with that guy all the time? You were a different person. You didn't even know who you were. And at that point in time, with your experiences and expectations, that seemed to be the right guy in that age, in that high school. You were friends. But you can't settle down with the same kind of character at this age. You expect different. And the same thing, every time you break up, your expectations will go higher and change, and you learn more stuff. And a year or two from now, you may not have even wanted this guy anymore because of the changes that you would be making and the changes that that person would make. And people change. And what is it that you expect? The fact that you know people change, but you say, it doesn't matter how they change, I still would want him. How could you? So this guy has changed now, and he has decided to not continue the relationship. Okay. So you should have expected that this person is going to change. And if the change is not good for you, you wouldn't want him, because what you wanted was a person with that before he changes. If this guy was like this, when you met him, you wouldn't expect him. You wouldn't accept him. You wouldn't choose him. But you chose him because he was different. Now that he's becoming somebody that you would not choose at the beginning if you were to get to know him and he was behaving like this. So why should you accept him now? Also disqualifying. Go for the next one. Simple. Jean or Jean, I'm not sure, from Belgium, I believe, says one of both partners has to make a big decision in her relationship. parents. One of both parents has to make a big decision in her relationship, meaning that she says she wants to leave the father or her child. I gotta go back to that question. I'm lost. I don't remember that. How to construct a new relationship if both persons feel really involved, love, but there's a big challenge to start a new chapter at emotional level. 37 per Belgium. Okay, and now elaboration is one of both partners has to make a big decision in her relationship, meaning that she says she wants to leave the father or her child. I'm not sure. Do you mean that the girl that you want or trying to have a relationship, she's married? She has children? Jean, excusez-moi, mais je ne parle, je ne comprends pas. So I need more explanation to be clear. As it is, je ne comprends pas. Excalibur says, why bother eat if I'm gonna get hungry? Okay, that's right. Abhi says, sometimes due to huge storm of memories of X, I'm about to cry and change my mind in other things. I want to ask whether I should cry at that time or suppress those feelings. No, don't suppress it. Cry is okay. What's wrong with it? When you go to someone's grave, someone close to you or someone that family or someone that, you know, anyhow, do you suppress? No, you cry. Why? Because you think it's expected and it's accepted and it's socially acceptable, and it doesn't take anything away from your manhood or your toughness or whatever, because it's okay. It's like you want to go to swimming, you wear your swimsuit and everybody is okay with it. But if you go to swimming with your suit, everybody laugh at you. Or if you go to office with swimsuit, it will not be expected, and you try to suppress it even if you want to wear it that way, which I hope not. But so it is social rules and expectations that makes you feel something that you don't want to do normally, or you try to suppress it, but you'll be okay. Well, if it's okay to cry at a grave, then it should be okay to cry for something that bothers you. But why are you holding it? Only that point is okay? Because it's socially accepted. So you're not really doing for your own benefit. You're doing it as long as the others say, okay, you can cry now. No, you can't cry here. Oh, you can cry there. You can't show emotion here, but you can show emotion there. No, the hell with it. You want to cry because you remember your ex and you feel sad for whatever reason, or lonely, or whatever it is that you feel, no problem. Cry. Just cry it when you're alone, though. Don't cry in front of people, because they don't understand. They think you're weak. They don't understand this is normal. But then do your crying and then say, okay, the hell with it. Now let's build a life. Go build life. You cry again a while later, that's okay. But then say, the hell with it. I go find something better. Every time you cry after that, you feel good, and then encourage yourself to do and go and do better, build better. All that. Nasro say, my dear, you're a great psychologist. Thank you so much for your helping people. Thank you so much. My pleasure, Nasro dear. My pleasure. Nasro says, my parents don't accepted him cause he's 45-year-old and I'm 20, but he's my soulmate. What should I do? Please help me. I see. You know, Nasru, I have to be honest with you. A man at age 45 would love to be with a 20-year-old woman. Even though he feels definitely he's in love with her. But it's easy for him to think that way because he's 45, a 20-year-old woman, he thinks, oh, this 20-year-old woman is not still finding her, I can maybe mold her, she will be exactly as I want, and you're so in love at age 20, so fresh, so young, you look up to him, you think he's so wise and so knowledgeable because you're not so knowledgeable and wise at this age, not because he's really so wonderful. Compared to you, point of reference that you have is you, and compared to you, you consider him more educated, wiser, and all that, so you give all that credit. And the way he's learned, or he's got this age that makes him knowing, and he knows that you like him or love him, so he has this confidence in front of you, and that confidence that he's getting because you're paying attention to him actually impresses you, making you think that he's confident on his own. But he's really confident because you love him. And so he feels really so big and comfortable, and you think that he's always like that. No, maybe if he's meeting a 35-year-old woman who's got some experience and is very confident of herself, and it doesn't buy the bullshit that this guy, I'm not saying he's a bad guy, I'm just saying she doesn't buy the bullshit that the 45-year-old is pretending or putting out, and then he will be nervous and not so confident because he sees that the 35-year-old is wise enough to expect things. But a 20-year-old, all she wants is to be out of her parents' home, to feel a woman, a lady on herself, on her own. And she feels that with this man, 45-year-old, she will automatically suddenly become a woman of a 45-year-old man. And to you, that's a credit that you're now suddenly adult. And everybody look at you as Mrs. So-and-so. And these are shortcuts that you're trying to take. Instead, enjoy your life at 20. You will never be 20. A 20-year-old woman who still's got a lot to learn and is just about to get experiences of that she needs in life. She needs to experience all those things she wants to do. And the 45-year-old man has done many of those things and would not want to do it. But at the beginning, he will comply and go and make fool of himself and go and do all kind of silly things that you want him to do, or all kind of normal things, discoing and restaurants and paying attention to, because everything is novel to him. But after a while, then he wouldn't want to do the stuff that you're interested to do at this age. You know, the things that you are wanting to experience, and he's on a different pace of life. You need to enjoy your life as you are as a 20-year-old. Finish your school, go to your school, learn things, see how good or bad life is, experience different people, different young people your age, and so on and so forth. And then see if this person or which person is the kind of man that you're looking for. At this moment, you hardly know yourself. How could you know what kind of man you're looking for? So is it really him that you love? Or what he can provide that you love? Or the feeling that you will have by being with an older man like that, that you love? Is it him you love? Is he really love you, your consciousness, your abilities, responsible? Or he loves the fact that you're not so older and he can manipulate you, or he can be the boss, or he can tell you what to do, or he can have an upper hand, or maybe he will feel so good about being with such a young person. Is it that, or is it you? You don't know any of that. So for that, I suggest the decision is yours. Enjoy your life at 20, and when you're 30, enjoy your life when you're 30 with someone who is 40, let's say. But at age 20, you have a difference of 25-year-old with someone where these consciousness that on same age they're going to have trouble meeting are going to meet at this age. Maybe for a while it'll all be infatuations and all novelty, anomaly, exciting. But then you're going to see, well, it's not exactly it's stuff that you... And he's going to see, well, it's not exactly... And look, when you're 25-year-old, he's 50. When you're 30, he's 55. Things will drastically change. If you guys are not compatible now, as far as consciousness and age, guess what? He's going to be much older then. Anyhow, I suggest you live as a 20-year-old, and then when you're 30 and 35, then consider a 45-year-old man. Not now. That's my view. But what do I know? Excalibur. No. Abhi says, let's see. Judith says, you're a gem. Thanks so much for taking your time with us. My pleasure. And I forgot what the question was, Judith, but I'll take the compliment. Thank you. Saruda says, thank you, Mehran. Sometimes I forget to have this absolute idea, like wish to be happy forever and don't want to be sad. At the end, we all need to just understand and go with the flow of life. Of course. Of course. We have no other choice, Saruda. Abhi says, always the best solution by your side. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Abhi. Now, don't get away with it so easily, guys. If you guys really enjoying the channel, do promote the channel on your social media, the videos that you like, whether breakup videos or the videos in my Psyche playlist called the Psyche. There's so many videos about thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, and ego. Have nothing to do with breakups, but that's where the whole channel is based on. All the other things that I talk and help with, breakups and relationships, is all based on those stuff. The materials in the video playlist called the Psyche. So share the videos that you like on your social media, and share the site mindthatseekstruth.com, and go on the site and acquire the books that I've written, which is now on ebook version, which is very nominal cheap. I purposely made them so cheap on ebook so you can all afford it. Just a cup of coffee or two. So no excuses. Get those books and look at them and become your own analyst. Be able to figure out your psyche through thinking, considering, and learning all the stuff that I've shared with you in those books. Promote the channels, please. And Excalibur says, Mehran, serious question. Oh, you mean your other questions are not serious? Okay, I won't take you serious from now on, unless you say it's a serious question. What are your thoughts on the unbelievable number of people who view pornography, and the number 30 billion visits won't stop growing every single year? Well, you know, of course it is something interesting for many people, especially the ones who are interested in sex. And I guess mostly men are watching. At least I think more men will be watching than women. Women are still, even though in this day and age, I think they're still more reserved and more private in that sense. I may be wrong, I don't know, but that's my fantasy, that the women are still more reserved. But I think men are watching a lot more pornography on internet than women. Of course it's entertaining and it's exciting because we're men and we love women and so on, the ones who like women. But the drawback is that when you watch pornography a lot, you become sensitive. Your sensitivity toward being aroused so quickly and easily might change. Might, not that it will. Because when you don't see the naked body of a woman all the time, you don't have access to it, you rely on what your experiences and that you have in your memory. You rely on the limited things you see in the movies. And then when you see a woman of your choice that you get to know and you have a relationship with her, she's your girlfriend, you get very excited very quickly for her because you haven't been constantly seeing the naked body of a woman to become kind of normal for you. It's still going to be exciting every corner of her body that you see. It's all matter of still remaining sensitive to the beauty and sexuality of a woman's body, or because you have watched it through these pornographies so much that you need now a little bit more of something to be so easily turned on a woman that you like. I think that would be one of the drawbacks on the pornography. And the other thing, the other drawback would be that by watching these and see how easily the man and woman go to bed in these movies, in these videos, you start thinking less of a woman. Any woman that you see, you suddenly picture the story that you saw in the pornography movies, and you think like she's easy, or you think that you should be disrespectful or so forward or so you know, free in expressing your sexual interest in her, which these are all negative mannerism and behavior that you don't mean to on normal basis. You wouldn't, but because you've been watching all these pornography things, you think every woman that you see is is ready to have sex with somebody or with you. So it changes your understanding of how to respect women. So for that reason, the lesser you watch it, the better. And then when you watch it, you feel, oh wow, something extraordinary. Anyhow, that's what I have to say about that. And Jean or Jean, I don't know if did I ask you if you're a man or woman, because I don't know if it's Jean or Jean. I don't know if you already said it or not. Ah, there it is. I got it. She's not married, you said, so that means you're a man. Yes, she has a child. She's not married. She has a child. She doesn't have any physical contact since more than 1 year with the father. The father manipulates her and doesn't want her to leave the house. So, Jean, I wish you would stop giving me riddles. So what I'm understanding is that she is not married but lives with a man and has a child. And when you said the father, do you mean the father of the child or father of the woman? She hasn't had any physical contact, meaning physical contact while they're still living in the same house, or she hasn't had sex with him, or she doesn't see the guy and they live in different houses for 1 year with the father. Okay, that means the father of the child. So does it mean they haven't had physical contact but they're living in the same house, or what? The father manipulates her and doesn't want her to leave the house. So obviously they live together. So let me put it this way, if I understand it right. She's not married, but she has a child with a man. She and this man live in the same house, but she hasn't had sex with the man for about 1 year, even though they live in the same house. And the man manipulates her and doesn't want her to leave the house. It seems kind of peculiar, weird. So first thing she got to do, she got to understand if she's safe, if she's comfortable in that house. And then you got to find out from her, why is she staying with that man if she's not happy, and if she doesn't feel safe, and if she's being manipulated? Is it because provisions, like she has no house, she has no money, the guy manipulates her by money, stuff like that? Now, these are decisions that you and her should make. I can't say anything because I don't really know what's going on. I can't decide for her. We are only talking about your wishes and your ideas, but she's not there. It would be good if both of you make an appointment with me on the Skype consultation and sit there and we could discuss this. And then I'll have facts and I could maybe come up with some suggestions that could make sense. So I hope that is understandable, because it's very difficult to make suggestions when I don't really know the reasons, the facts. I hope you understand. Carpe Diem says, geez, I missed your stream again. Happy thumbs up. Mehran. Hello, Carpe Diem. Good to see you. We are just going through the questions, and of course we wished everybody a happy Nowruz, which is a thousands of years old Persian New Year, from the Persian Empire time till today. It's beginning of spring is celebrated in Persian New Year called Nowruz, which means new day. So happy new day, happy Nowruz to you and to your loved ones, Carpe Diem, and everyone else. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Carpe Diem. Thank you. Ah, yes, you say it yourself. Happy Persian New Year. Yes, yes, happy first. Yes, then you know the whole story. Okay, good, 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 good. I just read your message after I already said Happy Nowruz. Saruda says, my parents want to keep me at home while I want to be out there, adventure in life in another country. Should I feel guilty to leave since I feel so unhappy and no pleasure where I am now? Saruda. Saruda is the girl who is guys, you gotta help me, because every time I read a question I don't remember if it was a man or woman. Who was getting wanted to ask me about Nasro? Nasro was asking me about the 45-year-old. Okay, Saruda. Yeah, okay. All right, Saruda is different. That's the one who talked about absolute universe and all that. Okay, all right. So Saruda says, my parents want to keep me at home. At home means in the same country that they are, not that they want to lock you up in home and so you won't leave the house. While I want to be out there, adventure in life in another country. Should I feel guilty to leave since look, Saruda, these are really, I need more info. Which country are you? What are your choices? Which country do you want to go? Why do you want to go? What are there for you in your home country? Are you in school? Are you not? All these are important for me to be able to, you know, I know you guys are so kind to think that I'm really wise, but that's not true. I need information to be able to put it through the process and make sense of it all for me before I make a comment or suggestion. Excalibur says, aha, Mehran, all my questions are serious, but I do love to say funny stuff. Yes, I know. Sometimes to hopefully brighten your day and hear your laugh. Yes, yes, okay. Saruda says, people around me say parent is getting old and have a health problem and I should better stay female 38. Ah, okay, Saruda. So you are a lady, female 38, Thailand. Oh, I see. Yeah, I remember I told you that 38 is a great age for a woman, and best time of her life. So why should you, I don't know how old they are. What is old? How old are they? You told me about your age, but I don't know how old they are, that you think their friends say that parents are very old or something. Well, you're going to go out of the country for what? For 1 year or 2 years or study or something. But I don't know which country. Oh, you're in Thailand and you want to leave Thailand to go somewhere else. If you have an expertise, if you have a special job, they can get a good job. Yeah, why not? It's experience. But if you are going to go to another country and look for a job, if you don't have an expertise, or if you don't have your education done, or if you have to look for a job, then it's going to be a little bit difficult, I guess. No? You got to figure all those things out before you set out. It's not like, if your own home country you can't figure things out, do you think you can figure things out much easier in another country with different language, with different rules, with different everything different, everything new? Well, think it through a little bit, Saruda, and then make a decision, and at least have lots of things prepared for you on the country that you want to go and experience through connections and so on. There could be all kinds of funny business there that you would not know. With good heart, you go forward to get a job and you don't know what it is. So be cautious when you want to go to another country. Travel carefully, learn about that country, that society, make sure the rule of law exists, make sure you know the language, make sure you have enough education or expertise in a certain profession to be able to apply it there. Maybe you can land a job or line up a job before you go. Communicate with those companies that may want to hire you. Find some, some of those kind of opportunities before you just pack up and go with a minute notice or so. Jean says, thanks a lot, Mehran. You understood it perfectly. Okay, I will follow yours. Good. Good, good, good. If you guys can get a Skype consultation, we can discuss it together, the three of us, you and her and me, and then that also tells you how interested she is to actually take a step on that. Or maybe you want to have an appointment with me and enlighten me about all the stuff that is going on, but it would be better if she's also there. So, Shark Mantos, that's a new name. It's the first time you're here on this live talk, Shark, aren't you? I've never seen. I even don't think I've seen a comment from you on YouTube videos, and I answer every single comment. I think through the past 5 years, we have thousands and thousands of comments and all these videos that they are now numbering to 750 and counting. But if I'm not mistaken, which I could be, but I don't think so, I haven't heard your screen name, Shark Mantos. Mantos sounds familiar, but Shark, I don't know. Anyhow, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's your first time here. Me and my GF, he says, broke up 3 months ago. I don't contact her at all because it is painful for me. Unfortunately, we study, so I try to make myself very happy, but deep down, I see her. Again, this is a code question. Please make the sentences connecting so I can understand what the heck is it that you guys are talking about. Shark, be a shark and make it all clear for me. So, what's the question here? You broke up 3 months ago. You don't have a contact with her, but you study together or in the same school, and every time you see her, you feel down. Is that what I'm understanding? Well, don't feel down. Why you feel down? She's just another girl, and there's so many other girls out there. Focus on the other girls, the ones who want to be a friend with you, not the one who doesn't want to be a friend. I wonder why you guys constantly focus on where you shouldn't be focusing. You know, it's like when the soccer players get in front of the goalie of the other team, and instead of focusing on the places that the goalie is not there so they can kick the ball there and score, they actually focus on where the goalie is and they kick the ball right to him. When you see the goalie, that's not where you're supposed to be focusing on. So when you see your girlfriend, you're not supposed to be focusing on her, where she is, what she does. You focus on where she's not. When some other girls are there, find new friends, socialize with them, and learn about them, interact with them. All the things that has nothing to do with your ex. Then you can be more successful in finding new opportunities and new relationships. Oops. Mehran, I always want to tell you this and forget. Please try to include the timestamp in the videos you upload with the question in them. I don't know how to do that, and believe me, Excalibur, I'm not going to do it, because I'm not going to be sitting there and figuring out which question what time. What I have been doing, if you notice, has been even spending more time on trimming every video, live talk video, to many videos of one question, one answer. Then it has its own title. That's a better day for me, better time for me. But doing the timestamp, it takes even longer time to put that in the description. Everybody finds it. I don't think I'll be doing that. Thank you very much. Shark says, and feel pain. Any suggestions? I just mentioned. I think I responded to that. Shark. Excalibur says, because most streams are an hour long and sometimes only one. Yes, I know. That's why when I get around to it, I turn every question and answer to one video with its own title, as I've done. If you look at all the little short ones, there are like hundreds of them. Those are the small questions and answers from live talks, which I spend hours and hours to trim them to one video singularly for your conveniences. So anything more than that, sorry, Excalibur, not gonna happen. I'm not gonna spend more time than that. You can just keep screaming to it. I don't know, maybe if I learn it I may do, but I still won't. I prefer to do it one question, one answer, one separate video when I get time to trim the videos. There's so many of them that I will eventually have it done, but all depends on how much time I can really focus on this channel. Definitely not when we have 5 people watching. So go on, get some people. When we get hit number 100,000, then okay, you can ask me all these extra homeworks. So Carpe Diem says, Mehran, how does one not become not too cautious when starting a new relationship due to bad history and being burnt bad? Yeah, that's a drawback of becoming cautious, too cautious. Well, the thing is, you're trying to give permanence to impermanence, and for that you want certainty, a contract signed that she won't leave you, she won't misbehave, she won't break it, she will meet your expectations. You can't have that. As she can't have you comply to her wishes all the time and not leave her and then meet her expectations all the time, you're also going to be you. If things are okay, you will stick around. If you try, if things are not and you try and it's not going to resolve, eventually you're going to give up. You have that right too. The fact that you're being cautious is because you think they have all the control. You have to man up and figure out that, look, you are entitled and empowered to let them go and say bye-bye if they don't meet your qualifications. But you want to have them, even though they're not meeting your expectations, but you want them to do. You expect them to meet your expectations. You expect them to be the way you want them to be. And you don't want to have the balls to let them go if they're not. Therefore, you're being cautious, so you'll never get to the point that you think they're okay. And in that case, you'll never enjoy that relationship. Cautious, you have to be cautious all the time. Cautious about your health, cautious about who they are, what their background has been, if they meet with your expectations, if they're decent, the people they hang around with, the kind of... These will take time. But what do you think you mean by cautious? You won't go to bed with them right away? Well, you should be cautious. No, you shouldn't go to bed with them right away. And if you do, well, you gotta have precautions. I don't know. Find out about each other enough and, you know, pursue and be, you know, I don't know, maybe get blood tests and so on, if that's what you mean. But if you mean about emotional getting involved and becoming serious, and that's what you mean by being cautious, well, that too. Step by step, gently. You know, just like going into the ocean. You don't just rush into the ocean and then see if your feet can touch the ground. No, you walk into it to see how deep it is. Because if you keep jumping in, swimming for 10 minutes and then say, okay, now let's see if I can, my feet can touch the ground, then that's the time you're going to be drowned. So go into the ocean, walk in, and as soon as you see it's getting too deep, come back. That's cautious. That's being cautious. That's being wise. Same thing in relationship. You go slowly, get to know each other, and as soon as you see, well, things don't really match up, then stop that emotional involvement. Stop that intimacy. Stop that thinking that, oh no, because I can be intimate with her, then it doesn't matter how shitty she is or how things don't really work, how we don't really match. But the intimacy is fine. So I'll tolerate that so I can have this. And before you know it, you're so hooked on the intimacy part, it's a pleasure point, that you really don't care about that. And then you say, why is this relationship not working? Because you're only there, and the only thing that works for you is the intimacy part. So you got to be cautious from the beginning, both into intimacy and getting to know each other emotionally and in backgrounds and habits and so on. So you won't end up fooling yourself thinking that the intimacy part justifies the differences that you have with each other. So be slow in every front. And if you're not slow and you rush because you want to get to the pleasure part, because you want to satisfy yourself, say, no, she's fine, she meets my expectation, because you're focusing on the sex part, well, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're justifying everything in order to get into the to the pleasure part, and then you get involved in some ways that you'll be hard for you, and then you'll say, oh, I rushed in. No, you didn't rush in. You just weren't wise enough to see what you're justifying it for what cost. But if you can be at the same speed with both getting to know each other and the physical intimacy and all that, then it will be fine. First, get that department taken care of. If you guys have acceptable backgrounds, habits, lifestyle, people you hang out with, things that you do, how you live, and then think about the intimacy. These days, the moment guys see the girls, they're just thinking about intimacy, which is true. We all do. This is not something that we can totally be in control. That's in our genes. We are programmed that way. That's what we see, and we're encouraged because of that. But then, if you can't get a hold of that passionate moments and excitement of this intimacy, the oxytocin is created, and dopamine is there, and you're just nuts about it, then you miss the whole backgrounds that is necessary to keep this intimacy lasting, or figure out later that, oh, that was a mistake, because I really don't care how good the intimacy is, we don't match. So find that out ahead of time. Okay, before I go any further and get too deep in it, let's move on. And being burnt and all that, as I mentioned to, I think it was Saruda, I think, it's a relative world. You can't expect all the relationship be exactly as you want it, last as long as you want it, and be fine and no trouble. It's going to be all mishmash. It could look good at the beginning, and then it won't work out, and you could consider it burn. But why do you consider it burn? It happens. People change their minds. People grow differently, grow apart. And that could happen in any relationship. So that doesn't mean, oh, to avoid that, I have to now take 5 years before I consider her my girlfriend. Well, it won't happen. Because changes can happen to anyone. And you can't think they can be sure of everything before you kind of start swimming eventually. You can't be tiptoeing all the time either. Reasonable. Now, let's see. Saruda says, parents 65, I don't have expertise, but have traveled before. I know it's difficult to start over in another country like US, Australia, or Europe. but I feel nothing here to inspire me anymore. Wow. I don't know. So you know that if you go to Australia or US or Europe, any place, and you don't have any expertise or much education, as you, I think I understood here, and you're going to be working in some menial jobs, and you got to pay your way for places to stay, and you don't know what the rent's going to be, what places you can stay. Things going to be really, I don't know. That's a big decision. When you don't have particular expertise and just want to go there and check it out, I think maybe you can find out what you can do in Thailand, because at least you know how things are, the rules, social benefits, the laws, the opportunities, language. I don't know. I'm in the dark. I don't have enough information, Saruda, about that. Perhaps you're so pissed off they just want to leave a geographical area, and you think by leaving town everything changes. You can change it there. Just focus on new things. Don't live in your memories. Everything is new as long as you can be with that moment of that day, rather than being the new day and still thinking about 2 months ago or 3 months ago or a year ago. Change it where you are. You don't have to change places to change your mentality. Not always. Think about it a little further. Prepare at least before you're going to go somewhere, and think it through. Shark says, thank you very much. You're a true genius. Okay, thank you, Shark. Appreciate it. Share the channel. I'm going to be like a parrot. Share the channel. Good morning, share the channel. Good morning, share the videos. Hello, good morning, share the videos. Until we get people to get to know about support that we offer and the work that we do here. Excalibur, maybe you can explain it to me more, because I don't understand how it's done. No, Mehran, the question in the title. Oh, the one question that I use for the title of that long live talk, you want the timestamp for only that one, so it can be put at the end of the title on the title line. I see. That can be done. It's no big deal. That one question, not every question that is in there. I see. The title that is being used for that whole live talk, the time that that question starts, that's the one you mean. I think I got it. Yeah, I can do that. Jean says, Mehran, you're also a poet. My metaphors are a big help to understand how emotions interact and take a big deep in our own psyche. Yes, actually that is part of my abilities to deliver. Somehow, I don't know, I have this ability to come up with examples, metaphors that make sense for that, what we're discussing. And so you're welcome, in other words. Carpe Diem says, Mehran, do you think we live in a matrix? Or is it just what it is? Enjoy and live your life in the moment. Well, we are living in a matrix in a way, and also live your life the way it is and enjoy it, enjoy the moment. Both are correct. The reason I say we live in a matrix, because that's a matrix that you have created for yourself. Every one of us, as I discussed this before, have put this virtual reality goggle on our faces, and we have limited our vision, field of vision, to the boundaries of this virtual reality goggle. And that's why when you put a virtual reality goggle on your eyes, on your head, you are totally into the movie you're watching, totally expressive, and you feel the excitement of the moving picture, and to the point, because there are no other references outside of the corner of your eyes, and you're limited in the frame of the virtual reality goggle that you've put on, you actually get really affected by what you see in the movies. And if it's like you're at the end of a cliff, and if it falls, you feel like you're falling. Or if you're in the airplane and you're flying, you feel you're flying the airplane. Because that's all you can see, and you think that's the whole, whatever, the entirety that is available for you to consider as a point of reference or interact with it. So you're totally focused on that. And that would be your matrix when you have the goggle on. And that, your consciousness, is the natural virtual reality goggle that you have on 24/7, because you're living in your memory, and you're using your memory, your consciousness, which is now the same as your virtual reality goggle, that it is on your face all the time, in order for you to deal with day-to-day stuff. Everything you see, you perceive it based on what was experienced, and you have its pictorials and files in your memory, in your consciousness, and you use that memory to negotiate or understand what is new today, now, in the moment, instead of actually focusing on what it is. Therefore, in a way, yes, you are living in a matrix. The matrix is your consciousness, the consciousness that have limited you from noticing that there's a world out there. Because it is just like limited your field of vision to the information, limited knowledge available in your consciousness, and which is the same as having put the virtual reality goggle. You're limiting yourself, and you think that's the whole thing. And when you focus life and go through life, negotiate life based on your consciousness only, and not learn how to get your thoughts and your vision out of your consciousness and see that there's a world out there beyond the limits of your consciousness, then you are living in a matrix. Anyhow, that's all I have to say about that. Hopefully we will all learn how to notice that some of the memory is necessary for the things that we need, to recognize things and to use the past experiences not to fall in the same ditch again, and protect ourselves using the information that we have in our consciousness, but at the same time not to be limited with the field of the known, which limits our ability to go further than what it is or seems like it is, and instead to recognize there's a world out there. And whether it's a relationship that just ended, you need to understand there's a world out there bigger than this whole thing that you think it was, the whole possibilities that you could encounter with. Yet there are a lot more women out there, a lot more possibilities for a relationship, a lot more opportunities of any kind in the world, in life. And that's when you're not living in the matrix of your own consciousness, and you're able to see what's beyond that limited knowledge that is stored in your memory as the field of the known. Thank you, Carpe Diem. I do also love this channel to be known further and further. I appreciate that you're genuinely, kindly helping out and expressing your positive thoughts and intentions for the success of the channel. I really do appreciate it. I do need everyone's help to share the videos and introduce the site mindthatseekstruth.com, the books, anything that they can, and the videos the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, so people get to know. Because to be frank with you, I'm still in awe that some channels within a year, they have like 400,000 or 500,000 viewers. And honestly, you know, I'm not being silly anymore. I've convinced myself that I have to accept what friends and subscribers keep telling me. The contents of our channel is unique, and because of that, we should have had a lot more, and I wonder how it is possible for the others whose content's really not substantial, or at least very different than how we are approaching it, but somehow they got the numbers. And I know, I've heard just recently that these are purchased. They're companies who have robots and they constantly like and get subscription, and then people see the numbers and they feel, look, that's a very good channel, so because of the number of subscriptions, they're encouraged to also subscribe, and the ball gets rolling. Well, we haven't done that. We have just about 14,000 subscribers, and they're all genuine people. But anyhow, I take any help that we could, and I appreciate your efforts and everybody's effort to help us to reach that 1 million that I hope that eventually we will end up having as number of subscribers. Well, time will tell. So Saruda says, by the way, just done ordering all your ebooks. Really? Good for you. Hope it will answer what I'm stuck right now. Okay. I hope so too. But, you know, at least it's so nominal fee that you haven't lost anything. All 3 books, the Breakup Pain Handbooks is 600 pages. Me, My Psyche, and I is 360 pages with 66 chapters. Transient Thoughts and Me, so many chapters by itself. It's like about 200 pages. It's a unique topic that I don't think too many places have spoken about it, but it is something I think everybody would enjoy knowing about it. And it's pretty much over 1,000 pages, 1,100 pages of writing materials and books. All 3 of them is going to be added up to be $15. So I don't think you will be disappointed. Anybody would be disappointed. The books are individually like $4.99, $5.99, $6.99. 2 of them is, I think, is $10, and 3 of them are $15. So it's pretty inexpensive and not such a big risk. So, but anyhow, I hope you find what you're looking for in them. And you know, you don't have to purchase them before you look at the table of contents, because if you click on each book has a little video beside it, tells you what the book is all about. And then if you click on the book, it opens up and shows you the table of contents, so you can see the chapters and topics, see if you like them. And it also gives you a chance to read a sample chapter. Then by the time you make your decision, you should know what you're getting into. So that is why I say it's a good way to know what you're getting into, what you want to spend your money on, even though it's so nominal, which I hope that will help everybody to make sure that once they purchase, I had 2 cases during the past 5 years that I think they were, I believe, I don't want to, you know, kind of say anything negative about it, but I think they were clever enough to get the link of the ebook. Then they say, oh, it doesn't open, so I won my money back, which we did. But we're not stupid. It's a funny way of doing it. So for that kind of a price, and understand that when you get a ebook link, we can't just, you know, nobody's a child. So don't do that. Either don't buy it, or just say, I can't afford it, give me one free, and I'll say no. Or don't try to play these games, guys. It's not becoming of this channel and the way we are approaching. Anyhow, having said that, I hope you'll find what you're looking for in there. By the way, it says, Saruda. Okay, Excalibur says, voila, Exactly, Mehran. The title question only. Yes, I got it. Saruda says, it seems the more I am listening to your videos, I found out my ex-boyfriend have done all your advice, but I still can't move on. Even almost a year already since I don't like where I am now. You can, Saruda. You can. You definitely can. But the fact that you say you can't, that already stops you from doing. Don't say you can't. Say, I'll find a way to do it. Always positive in that way when you want to achieve something. Yeah, give yourself time, but keep doing what it is, what seems difficult, but keep doing it. What seems difficult, but keep doing it, it becomes easy. When you play tennis the first time you go into court, it's very difficult to hit those shots. But you keep doing it, and you know, a good training will eventually, so you can put the ball anywhere you want, any shape you want. It's possible. Focus on the possibility. As I have one of the sayings, which is one of the sayings that you can choose to put under the logo on your t-shirt when you order the t-shirts. The link is up there, guys. If you look at it, for the t-shirt projects, you can choose the logo and you can choose one of my 7 sayings there. And one of them is this: it's not important how difficult it is. It's important that it is possible. It's not important how difficult it is something. All it's important is that it's possible. Focus on the possibility rather than the difficulty of something. Because that, however difficult it may be, through practice, it will become easy, and easy is possible. Carpe Diem says, thank you, sir. You're very wise. I appreciate it, Carpe Diem. Saruda says, hope I'm not collecting book instead of reading. Yes, that's right. I got your link to download in 3 minutes after payment. There we go. Saruda got the link to download in 3 minutes after payment. That's right. And I'm sure everybody gets it. But some people try to be clever, which is unkind. But anyhow, it's not something that we would shy away from paying the money back. But most people don't do things like this. Anyhow, guys, it looks like it's almost 2 hours. I think we have answered everybody's question. I hope I haven't missed anyone's. It was lovely to be here. Again, Happy Nowruz, a Persian New Year to everyone. Wish you a wonderful year full of health and happiness for you and your family and your loved ones. And thank you for sharing this time with me. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I look forward to talk to you again soon. Be good to yourself and to the others. And I'll talk to you in a few days, if not a couple of days. Bye for now.